The issue started in middle school when they started trying to do their own thing. They stopped listening to teachers. They started following the wrong crowd, and they stopped listening to their parents. And then they would always say, I wish we would have a program like you have
That's
right
incredible.
now, then I wouldn't be here in this situation.
So you're a product of the 60s and the 70s. I'm a
Yes.
product of the 80s and the 90s.
Okay.
And I always say that my generation is the final is the final sort of decent generation, right? I'm class of 2000, and the class of 2000 is the last decent class on earth, right? And then everything started changing, everything started turning. I
Right.
was a teacher for 10 years. I noticed, especially in the males, of course, the females had their own issue,
Certainly.
but especially in the males, they are not the same,
That's
right?
correct. Right.
They have different expectations. They
Yes.
have different sort of ways of dealing with things. And
Hmm.
so again, when I heard about your program
Yes.
and your project, I'm like, I need to have Bobby on my podcast because I
Certainly.
would love to see this
Mhm.
in every single school
Right.
around the world, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
what is the Gentleman's Club exactly? First of all, what is it? And second of
Mhm.
all, how did you develop it?
Okay. Well, the Gentleman's Club is a character development mentoring program for youth. I have not and I will not take credit for the Gentleman's Club. Paul Arrington is the one that started the Gentleman's Club several decades ago at Plaza Middle School. And it was after meeting him after the first year, he could not no longer do the program. So he asked me to take over the program. And so I started the program and I started doing it for 14 years. We meet after school twice a month, the first and third Tuesday of each month. And it's a year-long program, and it really shaped the boys, the behavior. It changed the dynamics and the behavior of the school. But we've been credited with reducing the referral rates by 50%. The attendance have gone up in the schools, and the morale has increased, and it's been favorable. The community has gotten involved with it, and we've implemented in about 4 or 5 schools in the city of Virginia Beach. It's been so successful that other school divisions outside of the state of Virginia has reached out to us to help with the program, to help them start their own program,
Mm-hmm.
such as school divisions in Alabama, Connecticut, Maryland. And so it's proven to be successful. When we started the program at the alternative high school, we had the highest graduation rate in 2 years at the high school because of the program, how it changed significantly the climate of the school. After the first year starting the mentoring program, the Gentlemen's Club, we also started the Ladies Club because
Mm.
of the huge success. So we had a Ladies Club as well as the Gentlemen's Club, and we oftentimes worked hand in hand and went on field trips together and did a lot of after school activities together. Okay,
What are the main objectives of the
thank you.
Gentleman's Club?
Thank you. I'll read our mission statement, okay?
Okay.
The mission of the Gentlemen's Club is to develop and maintain the student's self respect as well as respect for others, promoting self esteem and a positive attitude. We will provide knowledge about stereotypes, media images, cliques, prejudice, hate, communication, tolerance, and respect.
Hmm.
Further, the members will develop and implement action projects in school to address needs determined by the assessments. Action projects may include a variety of activities such as dress up days. Now, our young men would come to school for our meetings dressed in suits and ties. This was the attire for our meeting each and every time. I would post our young men at the doors early to open doors for the teachers when they would come in, and they would greet the teachers coming into
Hmm.
the school, teaching them how to open doors for young ladies. We've had anti-bullying programs, school mediation programs. We also develop various activities such as teaching them how to tie ties, how to shake a man's hand. We would go on field trips to the colleges and universities, museums, and our huge field trip that we ever went on was to Washington, D.C., and we had the opportunity to tour the White House.
Oh,
And
wow.
so our objective was to broaden their mindset and to let them see what's possible for them.
Hmm.
One of the mottos that we have is that it doesn't matter where in life you come from, but what does matter is where you allow yourself to end up. And I'll share another motto that we have is that if we're not on the right path, then the wrong path lies ahead.
Speaking of this, I also saw one of your videos is you took the kids to on a field trip to a prison.
Yes, to jail.
A jail.
That's the
Okay.
very first field trip we go on every school year is to
Hmm.
jail. And I do that as an eye-opening experience to get their attention because I want them to know how serious we are about this program.
Hmm.
It's not a a scared straight program that some people have seen on TV, because our young men, we go to the jail in our suits and ties.
Hmm.
We first go to the courtroom. We sit in the courtroom. The judge know that we're there. The judge always acknowledge our presence, and the judge take time either before or after some of the cases that have shown or heard before us to address the gentleman's club and answer any questions they may have.
Oh wow.
So the young men, they get to see actual cases, people coming in handcuffs, shackled around the ankles. They hear cases whether it be DUIs, driving while intoxicated,
Hmm.
or marijuana, or child support, whatever case come before the court. We sit there and we listen to it. And so when we go into the courthouse to jail, we go underground, and we go to the jail cells. We put them in the jail cells. We close the jail. I mean,
Oh
we
man.
lock the bars, and they see where there's no curtains. If you have to go to the restroom, everyone sees what you're doing. When
No,
you
it's a
take a shower,
yeah,
everyone
no,
sees what you're doing.
yeah, it's
You
a
eat your
POV
food.
experience. This
Yes,
is how it is. This is from the
it's a
eyes
shocking
of
experience.
yeah, right.
Yeah. And we also have an inmate who comes in and handcuffed and shackled. This is not rehearsed at all. These are actual inmates, and they come in and they tell their stories. And sometimes, I mean, I've been shocked at some of the inmates because they're tattoos all on their
Yeah.
face.
Hmm.
They have a large history. And I tell you what's interesting, and two things always happen, and it's not scripted at all, but it's just the way it comes out. The inmates always say, for the most part, 9 out of 10 times, that their issue started in middle school when they started trying to do their own thing. They stopped listening to teachers, they started following the wrong crowd, and they stopped listening to their parents. And then they would always say, I wish we would have a program like you have
That's
right
incredible.
now, then I
Hmm.
wouldn't be here in this situation. And that always touched my heart to hear them say that. And so our young man now leaves the jail. They come back, and in our next meeting, they have to write at least 2 paragraphs on what they learned.
Hmm.
And then we print those paragraphs out and we post them in the school, all along the school, so the other students can get an understanding of what our young men experienced. So that's the first field trip we go every year to open their eyes, and then the other field trips are a lot of fun field trips.
Right, right.
Yes.
That is incredible. That
Yeah.
is really putting the students, in the shoes of the different sort of positions in the community. And I love how the community is so welcoming to this. I love how the judges are so cool with it. I love how the inmates are so cool with it. That actually
Yes.
surprised when I saw that video, that surprised me.
Yes.
That one of the inmates would sort of willingly and amicably come in and share their
Yeah.
stories and say, hey, I made a mistake and this is why I'm here. It's a
Yeah.
firsthand experience. I love that.
And so it's a positive thing that we do. And I can tell you that this program is the only program, the only middle school that's able to go, because it's usually set aside for high school seniors.
Right.
But we're the only middle school. My program was the only middle school in the program itself to be able to attend because of how well behaved our students are. We get a lot of support from the community. It's a wonderful thing.
I want to take advantage of this platform and I want to create a how to start this program at your school, because God knows every single school needs this. So how does a school start this program at their local schools?
First of all, the gentleman who actually started, Paul Arrington, he and I, we co-authored a book on how to
Hmm.
start a mentoring program. And so it's called the Gentleman's Club. So we've already put together a package on, or a book itself on how to
Hmm.
start a mentoring program, and that book is available on my website. And I guess we'll share that in just a few minutes.
Absolutely.
But I think the key thing to this is to you have to be a person who's ever going to be in charge of the program to have a heart for the children.
Hmm.
And a lot of times, it's not a paid. I didn't get paid for this. It was something that was in my heart to continue in doing.
Hmm.
And I can also say that Sometimes I spent my own money, for snacks for
Hey,
after
it's a
school.
t
Well, teachers know that, so
it's
I'm
a
not telling
teacher,
them anything new,
exactly.
right?
It comes
I apologize.
it comes with the
Exactly.
territory.
So because it takes so much of your time, and a lot of the things is just coming up with ideas to keep their attention. But the thing about it is that a lot of things that we put together was just ideas that came to my mind. And again, a lot of those things, pretty much everything that we've done, is in the book, The Gentleman's Club, that's available on my website. But it's just coming up with ideas to do, and you have to have a principal who supports you.
Mhm.
I know that when I was hired at the alternative high school, one of the reasons they hired me because they wanted me to bring the mentoring program there, and I made it certain to the principal. I said, if I accept this position, I need 100% of your support with my program because this is my program, and I
Mhm.
know how I want my program to run. It can't work if you dictate to me how to work it. This
Right.
is my program, and so he gave me full reign, to run my program. I recommend this program at every school in every state in every country because it works.
If I were still a teacher, sir, I promise you I would be the I would be the first one to actually jump on this.
Let me share two couple more things if you don't mind.
Please, yeah.
Um, One of the key factors for the Gentlemen's Club, if I had one word, it would be respect.
Mhm.
RESPECT. And the acronym for respect is recognizing, assessing, and understanding today's youth. That's the R, is
Mhm.
recognizing. E is encouraging them to succeed despite their circumstances. S is seeing through their eyes what the world has to offer them. P, plan to lift them up, never tearing them down with words or deeds. E, equipping them with the tools needed to succeed in life. C, challenging them to love themselves by respecting themselves. And T, trusting that the seed you deposit into them will bring forth its fruit and its season. And I think it's important to share that at the beginning of every meeting, the Gentlemen's Club members read their creed. This is
Mm.
our Gentlemen's Creed that is read at every meeting. As a gentleman, I promise to always have respect for myself as well as others. I will lead by example for others to follow. I will do this by displaying pride in all schoolwork assignments. My work will always be turned in on time, neatly, and correctly to the best of my ability. To be a gentleman is to be kind and to be considerate of others. I will give the utmost respect to my parents, guardians, teachers, adults, and to the proper authorities over me. This I will do as a gentleman. That's our Gentlemen's Club creed, and they recite that every meeting. Now, if they're interested in learning more about the program, my website is brayhuntley.enterprises.com. B Ray, Raye, Huntley, Huntley, enterprises.com. There you'll find so many photos and videos that you were able to watch about the Gentlemen's Club and also a list of my books.
That's amazing, Bobby. You are a wealth of just positive vibes. How do you make this program look cool?
I think every young man, young boy wants to look good.
Mhm.
And what caught their attention, because all I need was just a few to get started. Sometimes I start with 5 kids, and as the meeting progressed, they started seeing us doing field trips. They started seeing us
Mm.
having some nice food to eat after school, and especially seeing our young men dressed in their suits. Oh, it
Yes.
caught a lot of attention because a lady still like a young man and well-dressed young man.
Looking
So it caught
sharp,
a
yeah.
lot of yeah, it caught a lot of attention. And
Mm.
so, like I said, we had gang members that dropped their gang colors to join our gentlemen's club, tattoos and all,
Mm.
And so the photos are there. The pictures will speaks 1,000 words, 10,000 words, and the videos does that. Now, the teacher that I listened to that you asked me to take a listen to, he would be a great, someone like that with wonderful personality. I can
Mm.
just see him, in his role doing the gentleman's club because they will come.
Mm.
The students will come and the ladies will come also. And when the two groups got together, we did salsa dance. We taught them how to salsa dance,
Mm.
just doing fun activities together, something new.
Right.
Children, they want to learn. If you can get their attention
Mhm.
and let them know that you're there for them, you'd be surprised. Not teachers, because teachers know this anyway, but
Yeah.
they will gravitate. They will gravitate towards you. You won't have no problem doing a program such as this. Just lead from the heart. That's all you have to do is lead from your heart.
It was a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you for reaching out to me. I
I am
appreciate you so. You're doing a wonderful job. God bless you.